Okay, so get this.
We're diving into AI problem solving today.
Okay,
And this isn't like your average chatbot,
right. We're talking about AI that can strategize
Yeah.
and maybe even, outthink us.
Uh-huh.
This research from Princeton and Google DeepMind,
Uncovered something incredible.
this tree of thoughts
Yeah.
framework,
Yeah.
COTI for short.
What's so fascinating about this is that it really addresses, I think, like a fundamental limitation of current AI.
You see, language models like ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
are great at generating text, in this linear fashion, like one word after the other,
But they really struggle when a problem requires,
like stepping back,
planning,
exploring multiple options, doing things
like humans do.
that humans do exactly.
no origins.
Stringing words together. It's
Right.
about thinking ahead.
But how does this TOTI thing actually work? It sounds too thoughtful for AI. It's all in the name, really.
So imagine a tree with branches instead of just a straight line.
Right.
With TOTI, AI generates not just one thought, and we can think of a thought as like a chunk of coherent text.
But multiple thoughts as potential steps towards a solution
So it's kind of like brainstorming different paths.
before choosing the best one.
Okay, I'm starting to see the tree analogy here.
But is there any proof this actually makes AI smarter?
Like, what can it actually do?
Let's take the classic Game of 24 puzzle.
Where you have to use 4 numbers and basic math to reach 24?
Oh, yeah.
Those puzzles can be brutal.
They gave this challenge to GPT-4, the brawn behind ChatGPT.
Okay.
And
It seems GPT-4 felt the burn, too.
using the old chain of thought method, it was only able to solve about 4% of the puzzles.
Oh, wow.
But with TOTI, it started cracking the code like a math whiz.
Solving a whopping 74%.
Whoa.
From 4% to 74%.
Yeah.
That's a serious upgrade.
So it's not just about spitting out equations
It's about strategically figuring out the path.
to the solution.
Exactly. It's like the difference between,
Randomly trying keys on a giant key ring versus actually like thinking through which key might fit the lock.
based on its shape and size.
So it's not just number crunching.
It's actual problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
But
This gets even more interesting.
does this mean AI is capable of
Creativity.
buckle up because things are about to get really meta?
They also use TOTI for creative writing tasks.
And the results were pretty remarkable.
AI writing stories.
How can a bunch of
and
algorithms...
come up with captivating narratives?
Think of it this way.
They fed the AI a few random sentences and asked it to weave them into a multi-paragraph story.
With 2T, instead of just launching into the story, the AI first generates different thought sequences, right?
Representing various plot outlines or writing approaches
So it's like the AI is brainstorming different storylines.
before putting pen to paper.
Yeah, or rather code to algorithm.
Precisely.
And here's the kicker.
It then evaluates those potential storylines and picks the most promising one.
They actually built in a voting system.
A voting system.
It's like the AI is acting as its own
Yeah.
internal editor.
choosing the most compelling narrative path.
That's wild.
It is?
But how does this...
How does this voting actually work?
So, it's all about assessing
Yeah.
coherence and flow.
The AI compares different storylines based on how smoothly they incorporate the initial random sentences
How well they connect events.
and even how engaging the narrative arc seems.
It's essentially judging its own creative output.
And picking the most promising candidate.
Okay, so the AI isn't just randomly stringing sentences together.
It's crafting a narrative with a purpose.
Right. That's
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But hold on, we talked about chain of thought before.
How is 2T different?
Okay, so imagine you're writing an email,
Yeah.
right? With chain of thought, you would just
Write one sentence after another in a straight line, hoping it all makes sense in the end.
but with 2T, you would
You draft different versions of a sentence or paragraph.
considering different phrasing, different tone,
Even the order of information.
before deciding on the best option.
So chain of thought is like dashing off a rough draft.
While 2T is more like
Yeah.
thoughtful revision and editing.
Exactly.
And to really put 2T to the test, they threw it into the arena of crossword puzzles.
Crossword puzzles.
Those things are practically designed to stump AI.
Right.
How can AI possibly navigate the nuances of language?
And wordplay required for crosswords?
Yeah, so that was the prevailing thought.
The 2T held its own remarkably well.
And remember how we talked about 2T exploring different paths?
Yeah.
For crosswords, it utilizes a method called depth-first Search.
Depth first search.
It sounds intense.
What is that exactly?
So imagine exploring a maze, right?
Okay.
Instead of trying every path a little bit at a time,
You pick one path and you follow it as far as you can.
if you hit a dead end, you backtrack to the last fork and try a different path.
That's essentially what TOTI does in a crossword.
It tries a word,
It assesses if it fits the clues and the intersecting letters
and if it hits a snag, it backtracks and tries another word.
until it finds a solution.
So it's not just finding a word that fits.
It's about finding the right word based on the entire puzzle.
Exactly.
It's thinking ahead just like a human would.
That's incredible.
It is. It is.
And this ability to backtrack and reevaluate choices based on the bigger picture is a significant leap.
From the old chain of thought approach
This has been an incredible deep dive.
into the world of AI and...
Tree of thoughts.
But I have to ask.
What are the real-world applications of this?
Where do we go from here?
So we've got AI that can strategize like some kind of
Grand chess master, plan out a story.
like a seasoned novelist,
and even crack a crossword.
like a wordsmith with a thesaurus.
Yeah.
Where does this tree of thoughts thing go from here?
Well, I think the potential is just enormous.
I mean, imagine like AI collaborating with scientists.
not just crunching numbers, but like actually helping design experiments by like exploring different hypotheses.
And predicting outcomes
wow.
from research labs to hospitals.
TOTI could really shake things up.
Exact.
But let's be real for a second.
We've seen enough
Yeah.
sci-fi movies to know.
That AI taking the reins can sometimes lead to complications.
Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that, right?
This isn't about replacing human ingenuity, right?
Right.
This is about
Augmenting it.
providing us with like more powerful tools to solve these problems.
So it's not about AI taking over
It's about AI working
alongside us.
exactly, precisely.
And I think what's really cool
You
about
know, one of the best things about TOTI,
is that it gives us like a glimpse into...
the AI's reasoning process.
Okay.
We can actually see the different thoughts it considered, the paths that it explored.
How it arrived at its final decision.
And I think that transparency is just so crucial.
So building trust and making sure that AI remains like a tool for good.
So it's like having that
Open line of communication.
understanding not just what the AI decided.
But why it decided that way?
Totally, yeah.
It's like having a window into the AI's thought process.
Which can be so valuable
Yeah.
for like, you know,
Debugging errors.
identifying biases.
Making sure that it aligns with...
our values.
This has been incredible.
Exploring the world of AI.
And this tree of thoughts framework. It's like we've only just scratched the surface.
Of what AI can achieve.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think the most exciting part is this is an ongoing evolution.
Right. Like AI is going to continue to learn, continue to adapt. Who knows what incredible feats it will accomplish.
That's the beauty of it, right? The possibilities really are endless.
And for all of you eager minds out there,
Keep exploring. Keep questioning
let's continue this conversation.
about the future of AI together.
I love it.
This has been The Deep Dive.
And we'll catch you in the next episode.